What's up, RGC family? So today we're going to be discussing our Kitty Chapter 10 predictions right here in this video. So as we know from the Kitty Chapter 9 ending scene, we're going to be going to the Magic Friends next in Kitty Chapter 10, which is based on the cartoon The Fairly Oddparents. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing the main characters that we should expect to see in the Kitty storyline, the locations that we should expect to see in the map, and why I think the Magic Friends makes the perfect sense for a Kitty storyline. So make sure you watch to the end of the video so you learn everything you can about the Magic Friends and what our predictions are for this new map. So before I get into my predictions, last week we posted a new prediction video, and I said in that video that I would give away 1 Robux for every like that we received on that video. Well, as of the time of this recording, we received 1,500 likes on that video. So I will be giving away 1,500 Robux to 15 random people in our Roblox group. That's right. So 15 random people are going to receive 100 Robux. And I'll be doing that right after I post this video. The winners will be announced on our YouTube community tab and on our RGCfamily Roblox group. And since it's the holidays, I'm going to be doing this contest again. That's right. So for every like that this video gets, I'm going to give away 1 Robux as well. And I'll be announcing the winners 1 week from today. So be sure to join the RGCfamily Roblox group so that you have a chance of winning free Robux as well. And if you're one of the 80% of our viewers who aren't subscribed to our videos, do me a favor and subscribe right now and click the notification bell icon so you get notified anytime we post a new video. All right, so let's get into the Kitty Chapter 10 predictions. I'm going to start with the main characters that we should expect to see in the Kitty storyline. So we're going to start with this guy right here. This is Timmy Turner. He's an average kid that nobody understands. He's 10 years old. He's bullied at school and neglected by his parents and left in the care of his mean babysitter named Vicky, who's right here. He also has 2 godparents, fairy godparents named Cosmo and Wanda, who help take care of him. And since they're fairies, they have the ability to grant wishes and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So Cosmo is one of the dumbest characters in the show. He often gets Timmy into trouble and grants really crazy wishes. But Wanda is more responsible and only grants wishes that are more reasonable. So I think that it's very likely that all these characters that I just mentioned are going to be playing some type of role in the Kitty Chapter 10 storyline. And I also think it's possible that we would see Chloe, who is Timmy's neighbor and is also Cosmo and Wanda's fairy godchild. And another really interesting possibility as far as characters go is Jorgen von Strangle. He's the fairy that enforces all of the rules for all of the fairies in the Fairly Oddparents. So think about that for a second. This could be a really good character to introduce a concept of like a boss battle or something like that into the Kitty storyline, since Jorgen is the strongest fairy and he's in charge of making all the rules and making sure all of the other fairies stay in line. So that would be really interesting to see something like a boss battle be introduced in Kitty Chapter 10. But back to Timmy. His wishes often backfire on him, so it's often up to Cosmo and Wanda to help keep Timmy out of tough situations. So now let's move on to locations, and I want to talk about the ones that I think would make the most sense to be in the Kitty Chapter 10 map. So the Fairly Oddparents is based in a town in California called Dimsdale. And there's also an alternate world called Fairy World, which is connected to Earth by a rainbow bridge. And these 2 areas, these 2 worlds, are the most common scenes that you're going to see in the Fairly Oddparents cartoon. So I find this really interesting because, once again, we're seeing a cartoon where there's a storyline that has multiple universes because we've got the fairy world and we've got Dimsdale, and characters that can travel back and forth between them. So the fairy godparents. So just like the Televerse and just like Kitty Chapter 8 and Kitty Chapter 9, we've got characters that can hop back and forth between these different universes. So now the Fairly Oddparents is starting to make a lot of sense for why it's in Kitty Chapter 10. And so here's the locations within those 2 worlds that I think are high possibilities that we could see in the Kitty Chapter 10 map. So the first thing I expect to see is Timmy Turner's house. This is where most of the episodes begin, and in many episodes we never even leave his house. The most commonly seen areas are the living room and Timmy's bedroom. And also in Timmy's bedroom is a goldfish bowl, and that's where Cosmo and Wanda live inside of the little castle in the fish tank. 2 other possibilities for the main area of Dimsdale would be Chloe's house, since she lives right next door to Timmy, and also the Tang Mansion. The Tang Mansion is really fancy and it has a lot of room, so this could be a cool place for us to explore and have to find and solve lots of puzzles. So I think those 3 locations alone could make for a really interesting kitty map. But that's not all I think we'll see, because we also have the fairy world to consider. So I fully expect to see some aspect of the Rainbow Bridge in the storyline. I'm wondering if maybe we need to construct the Rainbow Bridge so that we can travel back and forth between the fairy world and Dimsdale again. That could be a really interesting part of the storyline. So now I want to see all of your comments and theories in the comments down below. What role do you think all of these characters will play in the Kitty Chapter 10 storyline, and what areas of the Fairly Oddparents cartoon do you think will make it into the Kitty Chapter 10 map? You can also learn what it takes to be a Kitty Pro by clicking this video right here and learn how to beat Kitty Chapter 9 with our helpful tutorial right here on RGC Family. See ya!